What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So we getting ready to talk about Deontay Wilder versus Zhang. Now, there's a video that I made yesterday, and I scrapped it. I didn't put it out because I was so busy. You know, I had people graduating and stuff, so I had graduations to go to and all of that. So, you know what? By the time I put this video out, it's going to be late at night, and the fight was today. It's Saturday night right now. So right now, it's after 10 o'clock at night. So I didn't put the video out. And I was breaking down some things I've already said, but a lot of things, other key points too that I wanted to bring up. And it wasn't no big deal because y'all already know how I feel about the situation. So I said, you know what? All right, no problem. It's too late to put this video out. And, you know, now somebody could always look at it, then look at the aftermath and say, damn, he was right. But I said, nah, no problem. I'll wait until after I watch the fight, and then I'll talk about it. So Wilder gets stopped. He gets knocked out. Wilder's not letting his hands go. Now people say, I wonder why he's not letting his hands go. Something is not the same. And I'm telling you guys, the same thing I told you before he got beat by Fury. When I watch Wilder fight and I say I'm not impressed by what I see, I'm not concerning myself with the childish, oh, you hating on Wilder, blah, blah, blah nonsense. I'm not impressed because of his lack of skill. You guys are so, you know, like overwhelmed by the right hand. I'm not. I said, when Deontay Wilder steps up in competition, he's not going to be the same fighter. You're going to see it. I watch Wilder get outboxed by C-level fighters. Okay? Then he gets the knockout. Because he gets the knockout, people find it exciting, and they rate him not because of his skills or anything else. The fact that if he hits you, it's over. Okay. But they always overlook the fact that, well, his opponent can also knock him out. So because of those very things right there, when people talk about him, they feel like it doesn't matter if you can outbox him. He'll knock you out before the final bell. The reason Wilder's not letting his hands go, the reason why Wilder doesn't have the same confidence, is because when you step up in competition, and the things that worked on lesser competition isn't working now, and the only chance that you have against much better fighters is a puncher's chance. It doesn't matter what the fans say, what your trainer says. You as a fighter carry that, and you know, damn, okay, I can't hit this dude. I can't catch him clean. He's catching me. I can't get the shots off I want. My timing is not there. This is different. It's the whole point in having different level fighters. This is why you label people, you know, A class, B class, C class, D class fighters. Okay, it's simple. That's why you have a ranking system, minus the politics and favoritism and BS. This is why these things exist, because there are different levels of players. There's different levels of fighters. Okay, and until they get in the ring and mix it up, You don't know what's going to happen. Even when you have a strong opinion, a strong feeling, and then it comes into fruition, you know, okay, cool. But things, like I say, things can happen in a fight. When I said, you never know what's going to happen, but Zhang should beat Wilder. Zhang should knock Wilder out. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm picking Joseph Parker to win. Parker should beat Zhang. Parker should beat Wilder. He should knock Wilder out. He should stop him, whatever, but bottom line, he should definitely beat Wilder. It shouldn't even be competitive. When I said Tyson Fury is way better than Wilder, Fury, remember before the first fight, before the second fight, no, before the first fight, I said Fury doesn't sit down on his punches. He's not a big puncher, but he has weight behind his shots. If he sits down on his punches, he will be able to knock guys out. He'll be able to hurt guys. The problem with Fury is he just flicks his shots out and throws. He's trying to get out the way before he even really commits to the shot. So therefore, he's not really getting his full power in his shots. Fury is bigger pretty much than everybody he fights, but the much smaller guys are the only ones you ever saw him really try to impose his will on. So when I'm looking at Fury and I'm looking at Wilder, and I see, like, right off the bat, Wilder, it didn't take the Fury fight for me. See, and this is where I say, like, people run their mouth, but they don't know shit about boxing. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just talking from a fan perspective, and they repeat the things that people say in favor of the fighters that they like. So when I'm saying Fury's too goddamn big and tall to be fucking fighting on the back foot, Wilder's too light in the ass. Like, literally, he's too light in the ass, and he can't fight going backwards. So when the Max Kellermans, the Teddy Atlases, the Roy Jones Jr.'s, and all these other people were saying the opposite of what I would say, I'm not looking for credit. I'm not looking to try to wow people, but it helps the conversation. It helps to know that there's intelligent people that can understand where I'm coming from. I'm just looking at the facts. The problem is people are so into trying to be neutral and trying to give the politically correct answers that they are more concerned about, people feeling some kind of way. I don't care how people feel. I'm telling the truth. Fury gets knocked down against Wilder. He gets up. He starts walking Wilder down. And the whole thing is trying to be cautious of the right hand prevented him from doing what he could have done from round one. But bottom line is, he realized after he got knocked down, I got up and started walking this guy down. And basically, might have even took that round back. And, he can't fight going backwards. That's when he realized it. I tell you, he's going to struggle. And he's not going to look the same. He's going to lose when he steps up in competition. Coincidence, huh? Coincidence. He loses to Fury. And the funny thing is, like, people always want to bring up little technicalities and little intangibles when they want to try to make someone look good. But Fury basically was coming out of retirement and had, 2 fights where he wasn't in the type of shape. He wasn't down to the type of weight that he really wanted to be at. So he was a cherry pick for Wilder, and Wilder was a cherry pick for him. Because he knows Wilder can't box, but he knows Wilder has some hype behind his name. Fury is arrogant. He's cocky. He goes down 4 times, okay, in 2 different fights with Deontay Wilder. all because of carelessness and showing off. So when he loses to Usyk and people say, oh, he should have stopped the showboating, he was showing off too much. Well, why shouldn't he show off and showboat? Because according to popular delusional demand, him and Wilder still the two best heavyweights in the division. So if he can play with Wilder, why can't he play with Usyk? Yeah. When I tell you, you guys base what somebody else can and cannot do based on what someone else can and cannot do. You can't always go by that. What I saw in Deontay Wilder, same thing. I wasn't doing YouTube videos when Chad Dawson was fighting, and I said that when Chad Dawson steps up in competition, when he stops fighting over the hill guys, he's going to have trouble with top guys. Max Kellerman was his biggest supporter, and I remember them talking so highly about how Chad Dawson is this and that. Hey, I'm not here to challenge your opinion and say, oh, I don't think he's a good fighter. Why do you think he's a good fighter? No, you can think what you want to think. I just didn't see Chad Dawson the way that other people saw him. Biggest wins on his resume is Antonio Tarver and Glenn Johnson, who are already past their primes, and Bernard Hopkins. What happens when he gets to a young, same age group as him, you know, Andre Ward? What happens? I'm done. Quits. Took a knee. Quit. James Kirkland, another guy that I said, I don't see him the way other people do. He's strong, he can punch, yeah, but, man, he's very one-dimensional, and, you know, he hasn't gotten to the top guys yet. Yeah, punch his chance, but, you know, as you climb the ladder and start to fight the better fighters, it's different. Your preparation has to be different. The problem with big punchers especially, they think they can knock everybody out. So they don't see the purpose for trying to be more well-rounded and not depend solely on power. But when they get in there with a guy that they can't knock out, even if they can knock him down, they can't keep him down, and this guy gets up and takes the fight from them, they don't have anything else. They don't know how to do anything else. So they're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over. And either they're going to wind up catching up to the guy and knocking him out, or they're not. When you talk about how many knockouts Wilder has and 10 title defenses and all, but it's like, but against who? This is what people are overlooking. Yet, the same people always quick to say another fighter hasn't fought anybody, like how people talk about Jerome Boots Ennis. Well, he's trying to fight Terrence Crawford. He was trying to fight Errol Spence. He was trying to fight these guys. So you hate to hear people give Jerome Boots Ennis credit. He ain't fought nobody. Well, they don't want to fight him. And it's not that he hasn't fought anybody. He hasn't fought anybody that you care about. But you look at who he's been fighting and what he's been doing. The hype. Okay, there's no hype around Jerome Boots Ennis. It's a healthy respect that fighters that see, you know, his skill set know this guy is for real. But the Errol Spence and the Terrence Crawford fans want to act like a bunch of anuses and get upset because people want to see the fight. He's trying to make the fights happen. This is not the same as a Deontay Wilder turning down top-level fighters, saying they're overpricing themselves. I'll freeze you out for 2 years. I'm not going to take this fight with AJ and Dominic Brazil for $120 million because they won't tell me how much money they're giving AJ. Now, contrary to what you Wilder fans may think, he's kicking himself in the ass right now. And he's going to have, he's already having it. And the more time goes by and it sets in, he's going to have so much more regret that he didn't take that $120 million. Guaranteed offer. Y'all sitting here talking. This is why I say this shows you the childishness and the ignorance of people. That 50 million, that fake 50 million that y'all keep bringing up about AJ and Wilder. Okay, so here's the thing. Well, AJ had that fight already with Ngannou for 50 million. Same fight Wilder claimed he wanted, and for whatever reason, we don't know why the fight between him and Ngannou didn't go through. Okay? But it didn't happen. Fury got the fight. Then AJ got the fight. AJ didn't even want the fight because he's like you say, I don't want this gimmick stuff. But hey, guess what? Because of the outcome of Ngannou and Fury, well, guess what? Now you got idiot, fool, so-called boxing fans and boxing personalities thinking that Ngannou is a top-level fighter. So guess what? Wilder loses to Parker. Who can we put in there with AJ that's going to have the same kind of interest? Boom, Ngannou. Okay? Well, if AJ would have lost to Wallin, that's who Wilder would have been in there with, Ngannou. And the crazy thing is Ngannou probably would have knocked Wilder out. But bottom line is, when you look at that, right? AJ's had his $50 million fight. So that little fake 50 million that y'all keep bringing up, which means nothing, and I've debunked that so many times, using not just common sense and logic, but the actions and the words of Team Wilder. Here's the crazy thing. Wilder's never made 50 million in one fight. And the crazy part is, he was going to get 50 million. He was going to get 100 million for 2 fights with AJ and 20 million for Dominic Brazil. Dominic Brazil was actually, remember, he became Deontay Wilder's mandatory without even doing anything. So he still ended up fighting Dominic Brazil, which is something that nobody brings up. He still ended up fighting Dominic Brazil for way less than 20 million. You would have gotten 20 million for fighting him and having the 2 fights with AJ. So you say you want to fight 3-4 times a year. Well, that would have been 3 fights right there. So you still end up fighting Dominic Brazil anyway. Why Dominic Brazil? Because Dominic Brazil comes to fight. He's a punching bag. He's there to get hit. More than likely, Wilder's going to catch him, get him out of there. It's going to be crazy hype around the fight between him and AJ now. So, it didn't go that way, did it? What Wilder did would be the same as an advertisement for a job saying we're paying $50 an hour. But this only applies to those who apply for this position between May 1st and May 10th. You see it. It's not like you're not aware. You see it. Let's say you see it April 2nd, April 3rd, right? And you just go, nah. Then you change your mind and decide, you know what, I'm going to go and apply. But when you go and apply, they're no longer paying 50. They bumped it down to 20. So you missed out on $30 more an hour. Yeah. You be kicking yourself like, damn. I could have been one of those making, you understand what I'm saying? So he ends up turning it down, his ego and his lack of understanding of the boxing game. That's the part of boxing that's a game, is the politics, the nonsense, and the understanding what you should and shouldn't be doing. These contracts and what you need to do. And when you have a team of people around you that stroke your ego for you. Because, see, he and Shelly Finkel were both very vocal about it. We know this is a $300 million fight, and his ego told him he wanted 50-50 with AJ. Now, when Anthony Joshua went through his down period in boxing, Wilder was very vocal And always, that's what I'm saying. I don't see AJ the way everybody, he ain't as good as people say. They hype him up and all that. So he always showed he never really wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. Your demons can come back to haunt you. You go and you see AJ lost to Andy Ruiz. Wilder and his little minions, ha ha ha, LOL, ha ha, he lost. Y'all didn't want that fight. See, I tell you, a lot of times when people speak about things and they say things about other people, they're taking shots at them, they're really talking about themselves. Like when he says, man, they don't want that fight. And talking about how, I'm thinking we still fighting. Deontay Wilder is sitting there getting his hands wrapped. Someone's talking to him and ask him if AJ loses, is the fight on? He goes, nah, if he loses, there ain't no need for the fight to go on. So if he loses, so wait a minute. How is it if AJ loses, there's no need for the fight to happen? But if you lose, I'm still thinking we fighting. Make that make sense? So, Wilder's fans are the type of people that think that if he loses 20 fights in a row, he should still fight AJ. He should still be able to get $50 million or whatever he asked for because he's Deontay Wilder. I can't blame anybody but Wilder for what Wilder does. But I do blame a lot of you to help add to his delusional way of thinking. See, because what makes you feel good, make you feel better about yourself and decisions that you make, doesn't always mean it's the best thing for you. But when you're selfish and self-centered and think that the world revolves around you, and then you read comments and people champ this, champ that, yo, we love you, King, yo, God, do this, do that, yo, we support you no matter what, Bomb Squad for life and all that, right? So you don't see the mistakes and the bad decisions that you made. Now, the thing about it is, you deliberately did what you did, not thinking you'd be in this position that you're in. I told you guys, it's like a street baller going to play with NBA guys, and then it's like, damn, this is not the same. See, you might be able to play with some of the college guys too, but it's different when you go to the NBA. Everything that you hear people talk about out of fanboyism is irrelevant, it's trash, it's nonsense, it's garbage. People who are stupid enough to try to make this, oh, just because he lost a fight, you made a good prediction, okay, big deal. You see, for one, that just really shows how really extremely ignorant you are. For one, me saying that he's going to lose when he step up has nothing to do with whether I want him to lose or not. I don't believe in his skill set. I see the very many flaws that he has that he refused to correct. Not only does he refuse to correct, he doesn't have the ability to understand and process the information that I need to learn this. Okay? It's like jumping in a car, right? You've never driven. You've driven a go-kart. You never took your test, so you don't know about stopping at train tracks. Okay, or better yet, let's say you have a driver's license, you have a car. Now you drive a car, you think you can drive an 18-wheeler. Huh? Now, you're not prepared for low bridge clearances. You know, what the procedures are if you get to, railroad crossings, all types of stuff, man, like rerouting. You're not even aware that a standard GPS is no good for a commercial vehicle because it doesn't give you that information either. So you might take a shortcut somewhere that might take your ass to a dead end, and you don't have enough room to, to make a U-turn. Now, you have to have police called where they can come just to back you out and things of that type of, You understand what I'm saying? Like, now you learn the hard way that, damn, you know what? I need to study for my CDL. You know what? Because now you think because you can jump in the car and drive all around, and yeah, it's not the same thing. Do you understand? In fact, when you become a CDL, when you get a CDL, you're considered, okay, a professional driver at that point. Now, it's up to you to take that information that you've been taught, okay, and make good use of it. Or you can be the idiot out there speeding, swerving, switching lanes without signaling, all that kind of stuff, running red lights, okay? So this is what I'm saying. When you're uneducated on something that you participate in, well, your flaws are going to show. Okay? And that's how it goes. So when you were able to eeny, meeny, miny, no, not him, I'm going to freeze him out. Give me that guy. You see, look at how fast things change. When he knocked out Robert Hellenius, all of you Wilder fans was jumping in the comment section. Ha, 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 ha. Yo, the king is back. Yo, God is here. This is the shit, y'all. I'm reading y'all. I'm reading y'all idol worshiping comments. Oh, he'll knock AJ out. Yo, AJ, no, he can't fuck with him. AJ better not do this. AJ, every other comment. The fight is between Wilder and Hellenius, but every other comment, AJ's name is in it. All of a sudden, AJ fights Hellenius. What happens? He knocks him out with one punch in the 8th round. 7-8 Sports, all these other, oh man, he looked horrible in that fight. Yo, he knows it too. He don't want to, he don't want to fight Wilder. They're just saying things. They are just saying things. You had certain boxing personalities saying stuff and talking about how dangerous Wilder is, and Wilder's this and Wilder's that, and I'm just like, you know what's so funny, man? He got buzzed when he fought Luis Ortiz and was flying all over the ring. And they said, what a chin on this guy. What a chin on this guy. AJ gets buzzed against Dillian White in their first fight. Just a little boom. Oh, kind of had a little stutter step. Like, but he ain't going anywhere. Oh, he has a suspect chin. He gets knocked down several times against Andy Ruiz. Funny thing about it is, even in that fight, when we already was hearing that before the fight even happened, that he was concussed by Joey DeWaco and all that. It's funny how none of these Wilder fans ever want to talk about that. But they carried Glovegate on for damn near 3 years, and they're still making that excuse. Now, let's think about it. Anthony Joshua's very next fight is against Wallin after the Hellenius fight. And it's like, damn, AJ's back. Wilder took credit for that. Remember what he said? Man, they don't want to fight. Man, that nigga was happy as hell when I lost, man. That motherfucker seen me lose. I seen that motherfucker cut out my heart cracking the fuck up. Like, that nigga, he's so happy I lost, man. I'm the reason that motherfucker won. You ain't seen AJ fight like that in years. Okay. Well, it's too bad you didn't inspire yourself to fight better against Parker. Now, let me explain something. Wilder against Parker. That is not what you call fighting on the back foot. That's what you call running. That's all he did. He wasn't jabbing and moving, sidestepping, stepping around, nothing. He was just moving, wasn't doing much of shit. Because he doesn't know how to box. It's not who he is. Wilder never once in that fight showed you the ability to adjust, to adapt, to start to nullify anything. Nothing. He was so desperate that he literally, in the corner, in the clinch, started hitting Joseph Parker in the back of his head with hammer fists. And if you ever get the chance to go back and look at the video, you can see the left side. Tell you what, look at the video of Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua when they were face-to-face talking, and you can see how swollen the back of his shit was. That was from those damn hammer fists. Okay, that's the back of the head, right there on the hairline and across. Well, for every excuse that was made, right, about Wilder and his losses, every time someone says, oh, you're lying, the lies got to stop, all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what kind of crack you smoking, bro, but like, you definitely talking to yourself, because I know you're not talking to me. You debunk things that Wilder say because the excuses are so incredibly stupid and asinine. You forget these are not Aries words. Aries didn't say anything about Glovegate. I didn't make up the story about Fury having an egg weight in his hand. I didn't make up the story about Fury having no padding in his glove. I didn't make up the story about him having poisoned water. I didn't make up the story about somebody putting the heebie-jeebies on him. I didn't make up the story about him being in the cryo chamber. I didn't make up the story about him with a 45-pound costume that wore his legs out. Nope. I didn't make up the story about him screwing his brother's girlfriend. I didn't. That's all Wilder. And his brother put that information out there. It ain't come from me. I do the content based on what's said and done. So when we speak on it, his excuses are so stupid that you guys forget it's not coming from us, it's coming from him. So you're not debunking anything with me, and you're not exposing anything. All you're doing is expose, other than your own ignorance. Every time he loses is an excuse. So, Parker, top fighter, lose. Fury, top fighter, lose. Zhang, top fighter, lose. You know, when I say Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are two of a kind, they have a lot of like. Only difference between Fury and Wilder is one is white, one is black. One can box and the other one can't. But other than that, there's so much alike. Even their last loss, they had the same thing in common. What do you mean, Aries? The excuse for Fury was he's not the same fighter he was 3 years ago. You know, he's 35 now. Usyk's 37. Well, Wilder wasn't letting his hands go against Zhang. What do you know, I think he's the same fighter. You know, he's 38 now. Zhang's 40. Yeah. So even those situations are similar with these two. So instead of just saying the better man won, nah, Fury's not the same. But all before that, Fury's going to be too big, too strong. He's the greatest heavyweight of this era. He's the greatest heavyweight of all time. Blah, 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 blah. With the Pinocchio nose. No matter how bad and how awful Wilder looks, he's still the best heavyweight out there next to Fury. Okay. My thing about people who like to point fingers, make fun of people, laugh at people, try to kick dirt on them, but then get in their feelings when people use your own BS against you, your own words and antics against you, the fighter that you're cheering for, that you're bowing down to. We don't care. You know Aries don't. We don't care about you getting your feelings. My thing is, you guys talk so much trash about every other fighter. You guys want to label somebody and we all bow down and worship these fighters like you do. So what's the excuse now? How Wilder's just not the same? Wait a minute. Because I got to tear into some idiot that came in my comment section. And if you watch this video, you know exactly who you are. I said in the video, Deontay Wilder is making excuses as to why he lost to Parker. One of the excuses that they made was he was too small. Wilder came in a fight. I don't remember who it was against. And he came in around 217 or 216 or something like that. And he was saying he don't know what went wrong because, like, he's eating, he's training right, doing this, you know, everything. And somehow fight night, he was small. He said 238 was too big, too heavy. They was experimenting. I said, why would you experiment? You experiment during training. You do multiple rounds. Okay, we're training to go 12. We're going to do 15. I need to know I can carry this 238. You understand what I'm saying? They said that was too much weight. Him and Malik Scott said 213 was his unbeatable perfect weight. He loses to Parker. All of a sudden, that was too small. So I said, looking at the press conference, looking at the final press conference with him and Zhang, he looked every bit as skinny as he did in his last fight. He still looks frail. No, why you hating, Aries? Champ looked like 230-ish. Okay, if that's what your little crackhead eyes see, but I know what I saw, and I said the dude looked frail. Wilder's weight was 214 pounds, 214.6. That was his weight. So he was 1 pound, 6 ounces heavier than last fight. But I'm hating. I don't know what I'm talking about, and you do. He looks 230-ish to you, but his weight was 214.6. Huh? What was Zhang? 282.8, right? Yeah. Well, not only do you show, once again, you don't know shit about boxing, you don't have good judgment with anything. You just don't. If 213 was too small, why'd he come in at 214.6? Also, if you lose weight, it's to be quicker. When you gain the weight, it's for more punch resistance. Gaining weight is not going to make you faster. It's not going to make you punch harder. Okay? So I said, for Wilder, this is bad. Why? For him to be 214.6 and him talking about the savagery's back, did he not say that? He made more excuses. What was the other excuses he made? He said the reason he fought Parker the way he did is because everybody complained about him being a savage. They didn't like things he said. Yeah, stop right there. That part. So what does that have to do with you going into the ring and letting your hands go into fighting and doing these things that you claim you can do, right? This is a guy who every time you ask him about any fighter, I knock him about 3 rounds. I knock him out like 3 rounds, or I knock him out in 2 rounds. He always want to analyze who he can knock out. So I said, don't tell us, show us. Now you want to have a platform where you can go in here and show and prove, right? But now it's not the same because I can't pick and choose who I want to fight. His fans were literally begging and complaining, okay, about him, them wanting him to fight Jared Anderson after Zhang if he wins. They were literally complaining about the fact that when Joseph Parker was active, y'all wasn't complaining before the fight. Wilder wasn't active, Parker was, right? But before the fight, y'all was saying Parker gonna die. Yo, I don't know first or second half of the first round, but he's getting knocked out early. He's going night-night. He's going to get that NyQuil, all that stuff. Remember? Dr. Sleep, right? See, it's after the fact he loses. Now y'all start getting in y'all feelings and making excuses. I don't like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, they should have given you somebody that wasn't active because, I'm saying, like, you know, Joseph Parker been active and you ain't fought. No, but let's back up 7-8. Back up. Remember when Wilder got asked about the inactivity? Nah, it doesn't come down to that. It's how you train your body and how you take care of yourself. And I was out longer before I fought Helenius. You see what I did to him? Okay. Right. That's Wilder's answer. So you're calling Wilder a liar. You're calling Wilder a liar. Now, him coming in at 214.6. What did I tell you guys? Wilder can't fight off the back foot. He doesn't have the legs to fight and move. Wilder is a stationary guy. His entire career, he just walks. This is what Wilder does. Backwards. Right? Turns with the ring backwards. Turn it that he doesn't know how. That's not what he does. He doesn't have the legs for that, the technique, the ability, the IQ. Which means if he wants to be quicker and slicker, when have you ever seen him box slickly and quickly? When have you ever seen him box? Period. Right? So now you're expecting him to come in here and do something different. He's talking about the savagery is back. Well, he ain't talking about boxing you. He's talking about coming in here and putting the beating on you, right? At 214.6. Well, you know, you got to understand, he fought Fury, and Fury's way bigger than him too. And you know, he was able to stand there with Fury. No, he wasn't able to stand there with Fury. What he was able to do with Fury was stand there. He was scared to be first, and when he was first, he was repetitive. Jab right in, jab right in. Same shit over and over. Only thing he did in the last fight was he was jabbing to the body more. That was it. And he started off early, but no game plan, and you could see it clearly in his face and in his execution and what he was doing. Also, what y'all fail to realize, Fury don't have the punching power that Zhang has. For all we know, Zhang might knock Fury the fuck out. See, but this is what I'm talking about. Y'all got so used to this man telling you, and that's another thing him and Fury got in common. Fury would rather tell you who he could beat, so there's no need to fight that person. I'll beat him. Remember how he already made his mind up that he wasn't going to fight AJ? Yeah. You didn't want to fight Usyk, and you lost. You got beat. And not only did you get beat, you got hurt and almost got knocked out. Yeah. By a guy that you call a middleweight. See, people think trash talking sells a fight. It's good for the sport. It's this, is that. The problem with the trash talking too, to me, I don't need it. It doesn't make me, it's not going to make me watch a fight. But the problem with the trash talking too is when it backfires and you don't do the things you say. Who was fighting tonight? One of the guys that was on Eddie Hearn's team, I forget the guy's name. Is it Smith or whatever his name is? Black guy. In the corner, his trainer told him in one of those rounds, man, you're not doing nothing we trained for, man. Nothing. Man, I'm telling you, come on, man, you got to do this. You got to be more slick inside. Keep sliding and slide, moving your head. See, when you train, and then you see stuff like Deontay Wilder sending all these sparring partners to the hospital. That's one of the things I said in the last video. I don't care about any of that. Okay? Zhang is not his sparring partners. I don't care how many he sent to the hospital. We always hear that. Him and Canelo, every time before they fight, him and Canelo always sending the sparring partners to the hospital nonsense. Whatever. Okay? Yeah. Right. Well, send Zhang to the hospital. So, my point is he's telling him that. Right? What happens when you're training? Wilder himself said he don't even want his corner and people telling him how good he look and this and that, whatever. No, it's just, I just got to go in there and deliver. And so I said, okay, well, at least he got some sense to understand that part. But see, here's the thing. When he's telling you the savagery is back, that's what was missing, the killer instinct. So when I said, I don't understand the point that he's trying to make. Because for you to sit here and make up that lie, not even, I don't understand the point he's trying to make. I don't understand how this grown-ass man think that everybody is as dumb as his fan base to accept this bullshit excuse that he didn't go after Joseph Parker with the savagery because people complained about it. So he was too happy. He was too at peace. Peace and war don't go together. It's either one or the other. And the savagery is back, and come Saturday night, you will see war. And I said, I don't give a fuck about what he just said. Show me. I don't care what Zhang say. I don't care what Anthony Joshua say. I don't care what none of them say. Show us. Now, when you hear Aries say, if Anthony Joshua continues to win, and if somehow Wilder's able to get past Zhang. And bottom line, as far as him and Jared Anderson goes or whatever, if that was, whatever, because the Saudis is not just giving you money. No, you got to earn it. I respect what they're doing. Okay. But if that was to happen, and let's say that fight actually does happen, okay, after AJ destroys him, he can take his $50 million and say, I finally did it. Now, when he's asking for $100 million to fight AJ, and what I say the other day, he's over here talking about he wanted to fight all the guys he didn't fight. He's talking about he still want the AJ Fowler stuff, and just, see, you're talking as if Zhang was easy money, easy work. No. That fight could have went the exact same way it was going. And if AJ was able to land something and get Zhang out of there, nobody would be talking about, he's not the same. They'd be saying he's back simply because he landed one punch and the fight was over. But I told you guys, plain and simple, Zhang hits hard. And he can knock Wilder out just as easy. You don't even know for a fact that if Wilder would have landed the right hand, it would have took Zhang out. Doesn't make a difference now, does it anyway? But like I told you guys, you keep talking out of your fanboyism. So you don't even listen. Like, you don't even know how to analyze and pay attention to like real gems and jewels. It's like, you going to school trying to teach the teacher and you're the damn student. You don't know shit, but you know everything. You're trying to tell her things you've never done. You don't even understand these situations. This is why y'all say the shit y'all say and why you're always trying to defend something. But then when you sit back and look at my track record of me calling things the way I see it, and you realize, damn, Aries don't be hating. He just be telling the truth. So when I tell you I don't care for Wilder's style, I don't give a shit how you take it. I don't care for his style. The dude can't box. He's one-dimensional, and he doesn't respect the sport of boxing. He basically just, that's what he chose to do for a living, to make money. He wants the big money, but he don't think he needs to improve. At 38, you're not going to. Okay? Fighters like Nito Donaire, he didn't learn to fight at 38. No, he had that last fight at 38 and became a champion again. He was able to tap into what he already had. Getting in the best condition of your life and being able to go those rounds, reflexes, time, and all that stuff, he already had those things. You understand what I mean? So, hey, things happen. Wilder never had those things. So when people talk about, he's a bronze medalist, you don't win a bronze medal and not have the skills. You know damn well the Olympics and the pros are two different things. The pros, it ain't about, let me tell you something. In the pros, it ain't about sidestep, jab, work behind the jab. You know what I'm saying? Throw your uppercut, do the no. It's not really about all of that. Those guys in there just letting it go because they're not trying to punch through the target. They're trying to touch the target. Olympic boxing is different. Okay? For that matter, if having a bronze medal, right? If that means superiority, if that means that you were dominant, okay, because he was one of the top 3, but he got the bronze, not the silver or gold. AJ got gold. So wait, if that's the case, if we're gonna go by that logic, then that means Clarissa Shields had no business destroying Savannah Marshall the way she did when they fought. Because y'all kept bringing up that Olympic fight like that shit really meant something. Henry Tillman beat Mike Tyson twice in the amateurs. Jorge Gonzalez beat Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe in the amateurs. What happened when Tillman and Mike fought in the pros? What happened with Bowe and Gonzalez when they fought in the pros? What happened with Lewis and Gonzalez when they fought in the pros? Completely different, wasn't it? So, this isn't, like, I don't gain anything by shitting on a person. But I don't like bullshit. And when you give bullshit, I'm going to speak and give you your bullshit back. Only I'm going to give it to you with facts, proof, logic, all that good shit, as well as my opinion. But if you listen to what I'm saying, listen to this clown shit y'all be talking about. My track record is looking way more solid than yours. Let's just be real. Deontay needed this win. Zhang needed this win. The pressure was all on Wilder. Wilder waited way too long to finally decide he wants to step up. But see, I know the truth is, Wilder doesn't want to fight no 3, 4, 5 times, all that shit. No, Wilder wants that payday. I told you Wilder didn't sound too confident, didn't I? Did I not say that? Well, you know, the Savage is bad, but then, if I'm going to deliver, we see on Saturday night, you know, and we this and that. And he's trying to sell the fight. He's trying to give you guys a reason to tap in and watch. Wilder is done because Wilder, okay, like I said, if he would have went and fought another C-level fighter, right, and say he knocks the guy out, see, automatically Wilder's back. No, the Saudis don't want that kind of shit, but that's what he's been used to. So now, who the hell would you want to see Wilder fight after the Zhang fight now? So he fucked that up. Now, somebody done put a little montage together about all the Wilder's excuses, but I'm pretty sure the Wilder fans don't want to see that video. And that's from him freezing out Dillian White, him and Fury trying to freeze out AJ, him and Finkel admitting that they turned down $120 million. What else? Him sitting there admitting how Hearn constantly calling him trying to get the fight with AJ. Yet they don't want the fight. So when I say the guy is a liar, this is what I'm telling you. What do you think I'm going by? He says one thing, then says something else. His words. I'm going to say something in this video that I said in the last video. All right. You see, favoritism gets you nowhere. The people around me respect me because they know. I'm going to tell you like it is. People don't like to be told no. They don't like to be told that they're wrong. But something happens where they appreciate your words. Because why? They're so used to everybody going along with what they want. Then they end up dead or in prison or in a bad situation. Damn, I got this chick pregnant. Right? Or who's the one telling you, walk away, leave that chick alone. You don't need this. Here you are, a married man with kids. Now you about to destroy your family because when this baby comes, yeah. And I told you, self-control. Keep your mind off of nonsense. Problem is most people don't appreciate gems and jewels until after what you try to protect them from, they fall victim to it due to their own actions. So, I don't do the favoritism thing. Now, let me say this. This is what I said in the last video, the one that I didn't put out. There are no two people on this earth that I've watched, whether it was comedy, stand-up, which I don't even watch stand-up anymore, honestly, but lost just interest in it. But Eddie Murphy and Red Fox, nobody, not Dave Chappelle, not Richard Pryor, nobody, not Chris Rock, nobody makes me laugh more than Red Fox and Eddie Murphy. Remember when Eddie Murphy got caught that transsexual? Now, do you think because I like him in terms of his comedy, like the stuff that his movies and some of the stuff he's stand-up and stuff like that, he's made me laugh, okay? Do you think I'm going to sit here and make excuses for him? So, like example, now, his stories sound like bullshit to me. Now, you might believe it. Now, I wasn't there. So, he could be telling the truth. But let me tell you why it's bullshit to me. Okay? And if he is telling the truth, he definitely wasn't showing intelligence. So, your wife is out of town. You got the house to yourself. You're bored. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You decide to go get a good book to read. Okay. So you're driving and you see what appears to be a woman. Boo-hoo-hoo. Damsel in distress. Hey, what are you doing here by yourself? Hey, you got to be careful. It's not safe out here. But you're out there. Now, here you are, Eddie Murphy, rich and famous, recognizable, and you're going to go pick up a complete stranger. This chick could start yelling rape. She could get in your car and start hollering rape, anything, just to try to sue you. Okay? So you're Eddie Murphy, Mr. Rich and Famous, Mr. Raw and Delirious himself. And so you want to be a good Samaritan and pick up a complete stranger and put him in your car. Well, the police get there, and maybe they got there before, anything happened. But, I mean, you don't use better judgment than that. So you see a woman crying. And all of a sudden now, well, I think it's safer to put her in my car. And it just happens to turn out that the person was a transsexual. His response to that, when he told that story, was, well, here I am trying to be the good Samaritan, but I'll never do it again because trying to get you to do the right thing, get your ass in trouble and all that, right? Why would you care if it was a transsexual or not if all you was trying to do is keep somebody safe, right? You see what I'm saying? Oh, it's because of the accusations. The accusations wouldn't matter if you was trying to keep somebody safe. Like, in other words, if it was a man standing there crying, you wouldn't have stopped and picked him up. You understand what I'm saying? Well, it was a man. You claim you didn't know, right? Okay, so why would that matter if all you was trying to do was help a person in need? So for you to be rich and famous and put yourself in a position where shit could have got ugly. I mean, we saw what happened with Mike Tyson and Desiree Washington. You understand what I'm saying? People don't learn. Come on, man. So his story sounds like bullshit to me. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, man, they just trying to come after Eddie because he's famous and rich and all that. Whatever. Like I said, I wasn't there to know what actually happened. But going by his own words, that was a bullshit story. And Eddie Murphy is considerably older than I am. So I'm sitting here going, well, damn, man, you mean to tell me at that age he was that dumb? Because that was some dumb shit. I'm just saying. So, yeah, you're not going to catch me trying to defend Eddie Murphy and trying to make it seem like, I mean, come on, man. LL Cool J got caught out there. This bald-headed guy with glasses sat there and did a whole documentary, had about a good 7-8 minute segment talking about how he gave LL Cool J fellatio and how LL and his attorneys, they was sending them like a peace offering to try to, hey, look, just, and they didn't want to talk about it and all that type of stuff. Well, did LL sue her, counter-sue, or try to do anything? They didn't know. Nothing. And that person told all. We done heard about Dr. Dre, all these different people. Dave Chappelle speak against men being in dresses and all that. Then there's a skit with him sitting up there pretending to be a woman with a little dress and makeup on and all that. So I'm just saying, people talk and they say things. And because you like what that person does, you want to make excuses for them. I don't do that. Once again, you hear me say, if Anthony Joshua continues to win. You hear me say, I think AJ will beat all of these heavyweights. And I think he beats Usyk and Fury. But until he beats Usyk, I'm calling Usyk the best heavyweight out there right now. You guys just say, nope, it's Wilder, it's Wilder, it's Wilder. Even after he got his ass whooped tonight. Same way we watched Jermell Charlo get beat by Canelo, stood there and said, I still think I'm the best fighter in the world. You were never the best fighter in the world. But bottom line, just saying, people are delusional. Now, with everything that I just said, Wilder is pretty much done. He's finished. He needs to retire unless he's just going to go back to fighting C-class guys, yelling bomb squad, and continuing to tell his fans how he'll knock everybody else out. But for him to want to advance, for him to want 50 million, he talking about he wanted 100. This man said he wanted 100 million to fight Anthony Joshua. You know what Anthony Joshua would have did to him? And the problem is, even just from the Otto Wallin fight, you guys knew. You had that cringe feeling like, damn, yeah. I've never rated Wilder over AJ, even when AJ was going through his down period. So when I hear the Tony Bellew's and all these other people, even people that, and Tony Bellew is close to AJ, but every time I hear them talking about they don't like his chances against Wilder because he's not letting his hands go, and like the longer, you know, he takes to get Wilder out of there, it's a chance he's gonna get clipped. And I keep saying, do you guys realize AJ has every bit of a chance to knock out Wilder as Wilder has to knock him out? Do y'all realize that shit? And once again, you got to look at the guys you're fighting. You got to look at guys that have, everybody don't have the same tenacity. They don't have the same determination. That's that dog in them, that grit. Everybody doesn't have that, man. So this is why when you label somebody A level, B level, C level, D level, you add, you know, like how, example, like on video games, right? And they have a fighter scored as a 84, somebody else is a 90, and you look at how they compare everything and stack everything up. You understand what I'm saying? When you look at that, it's like you got to look at who you've been fighting. Deontay Wilder is going to go down in history for having all these knockouts, 10 title defenses, and beating Luis Ortiz. That's the biggest name on his resume. Chris Arreola was washed up when he fought him. He came back and fought Andy Ruiz some years later. But see, you know how veteran fighters still have that skill of being a veteran. You know, they are veteran fighters. They have a certain skill level. And sometime the time off, your body can get, you know, kind of refresh your body and things like that and all. But the bottom line is, man, you know, when you look at his resume and you say, well, the best fighters on his resume isn't Luis Ortiz. The best fighters on his resume is Parker, Fury, and Zhang. And he lost to all three of them. He lost miserably to Parker. He lost miserably to Fury, and he lost miserably to Zhang. And when you look at his best win, well, his best win is against Luis Ortiz. Goddamn. Luis Ortiz ain't never won no title. He ain't won no championship. What you hear Adrian Broner saying to Blair Cobb? When were you ever champion? When did you ever win a championship, right? You know, he made a point because Blair Cobb just talking shit, running his mouth, talking about how great he is, and he ain't never won no championship himself. But bottom line, you understand what I'm saying? What did you ever win? Okay, so when you hear me say, if Broner was to win, so what? So what? You just beat Blair Cobb. If Blair Cobb beat Adrian, so what? This is a clown match. This is a I used to be something versus a I'm trying to be something. In terms of, as a fighter, becoming a household name and a top-level guy. That's all this is. This dude only has 18 fights. Adrian Broner has like 30-something fights, whatever. Yeah, because he got 4 losses, so he got like 38, 39 fights or something like that, 40 at least. So he has half of what Adrian has in terms of fights and fight experience. So, you understand what I'm saying? So, no different for Wilder and Ortiz. Ortiz ain't never did shit. He's the boogeyman. Nobody wanted to fight him. Y'all don't say that same thing about Jerron Boots Ennis, and it's the truth. They don't want to fight. They don't want to fight Jerron Boots Ennis. But once again, oh man, you made a prediction and it came out. Yeah, I know. I know. Fucks you up, doesn't it? Like I told you. You step up in competition, you'll lose. You basically, you see, you basically was able to cherry pick. Remember when Wilder said a couple of months ago, I done showed y'all time and time what I can do, right? And I said, that's the problem, Wilder. You haven't shown us enough. Because what you've done has been against low-tier fighters. That's what you're not understanding. You're trying to make everybody think that a Hellenius or Arthur Spilker, you know, a Molina, or these guys are top-level guys, and they're not. They're not. You even heard the criticism and the favoritism, even with Johnny Nelson. See, people try to be right with their predictions to the point they let the popular demand, they let the fans and their feelings dictate what comes out of their mouth. Example, when Robert Hellenius got knocked out by Wilder, right? Did you hear Johnny Nelson or anybody say, you know what, this is the same Wilder. He's not any better than he ever was. He knows what he had to do because him and Robert Hellenius, they're sparring partners. He didn't say that. He praised Wilder. So why, when Anthony Joshua went in there and beat the shit out of Wallin, who went the distance with Fury, and AJ made him quit, he helped him make his mind up to quit. Why was it that AJ fought a guy and knew what he had to do, but it was the same AJ? Johnny Nelson and all these other people was picking Ngannou to beat AJ based on Fury going in there looking like shit against Ngannou. Yeah. Yeah. But when AJ beats him, they're shocked. Y'all supposed to be a part of the sport of boxing, and y'all here picking novice motherfuckers that beat fucking pro fighters. but you know, I guess I'm the crazy one. So, yeah, and the reason why, yeah, I'm saying it's very possible that Ngannou would beat Wilder is because, in all honesty, that motherfucker actually has better technique than Wilder. Now, here's what I think is gonna happen. I think that Zhang is going to end up fighting Anthony Joshua in September. Now, it possibly could be Daniel Dubois. The reason I say Zhang is because Zhang beat Wilder. And everybody's going to be more interested to see what Zhang looked like against AJ, being that he did what he did to Wilder. Not only that, because moving forward, they're going to assess how good they think AJ is, and then if Dubois doesn't have a fight, you know, anytime soon, where after that he's available for a fight with AJ should he beat Zhang, you know, that is probably what's gonna happen. It's probably gonna, and Zhang is one of the guys that Hearn wanted AJ to fight, you know, on his like reset. You know, his reset, you know, basically. So that's what I believe will happen. You know, I'm going to talk about Daniel Dubois and Erkovich in a separate video. And that's what I believe is going to happen. And they're going to compare the performances. And, you know, I don't want to hear shit from none of you talking about Wilder's old, he's washed out. I don't want to hear that shit because, like I told you, all that, the savagery's back. And I told you, I don't care about his words. Looking at him, he's the same Wilder that fought Joseph Parker. That same Wilder that fought Joseph Parker is the same one that fought Hellenius. The same one that's been fighting. Is just a difference in what? Y'all talking about seek and destroy. His confidence isn't there because the competition is better. You think when he lost to Fury that didn't bother him? You don't think it messed with his confidence? Of course. I knocked this dude down and he got back up. You don't think it bothered? Yeah. Damn, I got to keep fighting. He's in there with this guy, Zhang. He comes in at 214.6 pounds. And y'all don't see the difference. And y'all don't understand the logic in what I'm saying. He did not come in there to go to war. He came in there to try to move, and he don't have the legs for that. He wasn't letting his hands go. He threw that lazy-ass right hand. Zhang countered, spent them around, and then just finished them. And I told you guys, I said, you're going to see exactly how mediocre he is the more he steps up. And at 38 years old, he waited way too long to start now. Because if it's all about, I want to fight these guys that I haven't fought, well, that means you're going to stay loyal. He said he wanted to fight till he was 40. Remember I said, who knows that his body will even hold up to 40, till he's 40. You know, who knows, how can we say that will happen? Well, you know how you say his right hand is a blessing and a curse? Well, to him, Turki al-Ashik is a blessing and a curse. Why? Because he helped you make some more money, okay? And at the same time, he's not allowing you to handpick and cherry pick easy fights. And this is the result. So, yeah, I know all of those Wilder fans that be talking shit was hoping like hell that he won. Because I know they like that fucking Aries going to be talking shit. Well, you can call it talking shit if you want, but I'm just telling you the truth. Yeah, so yeah, I'm talking my shit. But I'm not here to nah. I don't do corny, sissy shit like that. I told you guys, though, plain and simple. He steps up in competition, he's going to start losing. And he's going to look bad losing. Let me add that, remember. So who was lying? Aries or you motherfuckers? Yeah, just a coincidence that he lost. You know, so that's what I think will happen, though. I think that, you know, it'll be AJ versus Zhang in September. And I believe that, you know, should AJ win, you know, it'll probably be him and Dubois on the next card. In you know, whatever, but in Saudi. You know, and maybe AJ and Dubois might even fight in the UK, but it'll probably be on the Saudi card. You know, but bottom line, that's boxing. That's the way things go. You know, that's the way things go. And you can't sit here talking about Wilder's old, but not say Zhang is old. But I bet you AJ go in there and knock him out. Oh, yeah, Zhang is old, man, because I mean, come on, man, look what he did to Wilder, and all of a sudden AJ knocked it, because y'all don't want to give AJ credit for shit. But, you know, it is what it is, man. And when y'all talking about people don't want to give Wilder credit, no, Wilder gets credit for fighting C-level, D-level guys. That's what he gets credit for. And that's what people don't seem to understand. That's what he gets credit for. Man, but you got to be something. If you hold a title, you know what I'm saying, you got to be something. Like Charles Martin. Like Bermane Stavern. Yeah. I could name some more people. Yeah. Just saying. Yeah. But, you know, like Trevor Bryant, right? Yeah. Listen. Nobody stays on top forever, man. You know. And like I tell people, y'all can talk all the shit y'all want. That 50-0 that Floyd got bothers a lot of people. They try to, you know, play it down and all that, but you know, all these people that was trying to catch his record, all those people that y'all think is gonna catch his record or want it, y'all gotta understand something. Floyd been doing this shit since he was real young. You can't be no motherfucking 36 years old, 37 years old, and you only got 30-something fights. Because at the end of the day, especially when you're trying to cash out, nah, they're not gonna do that. The work rate of a young fighter is always more productive than when you get older, because you're trying to lighten your load. As you get older, you don't want to work harder, you want to work smarter. And this is what people fail to realize. So when y'all talking like it's easy to be 50-0 and this and this and that, that's why I say look at Floyd's resume. Y'all say that about Floyd to try to taint his accomplishments, but then y'all sitting up here bragging about Wilder's accomplishments because he got you know, like over 40 knockouts or 40 knockouts or whatever it is he got. And yet, you can't name any top-level fighter that he's won against. And that's what I'm saying. Best case scenario for him is that, okay, finally you can say he fought Fury, he fought Parker, he fought Zhang, but he lost to all three of them. But their names is on his record. And when you really look at his career when it winds down, you see, fanboys are going to be fanboys, but people who really understand is going to look and they're going to know, like, nah, man, Wilder wasn't that good of a fighter. Because he's not. He's a puncher with one hand. Even in his defense, somebody talking about one of you fools made a stupid comment in the comment section saying, yo, bro, you know damn well Wilder was fit for his right hand. Duh, stupid. That's exactly what I've been saying. He's nothing but a right hand. You, in his defense, just said the same exact shit. His right hand, not his lightning fast combinations, not his footwork, his ring IQ, his slick head movement, none of that. His right hand. And bottom line is, any fighter, I don't care who you are, once you lose that aura of invincibility, that's it. He never had an aura of invincibility. He had a reputation of, if he hit you with the right hand, it's over. That's what he had. And anybody looking at him that knows, that's why I say if you train to fight a guy, what would you tell your fighter? Well, ain't no way in hell you gonna win, but look, we just gonna cross our fingers and just hope, man. Just getting in and maybe try to talk to him in his ear, negotiate with him, beg him, tell him you'll give him half of your money to not knock him out. If he don't knock you out, well, what would you do? So y'all put this stuff in y'all heads that somebody's unbeatable, nobody can touch them and all of that. So, you know, look. If Wilder doesn't retire, let's say he fights one more guy, another C-level guy, and knocks him out. This is exactly my point. Y'all gonna still be trying to keep hope alive. The reality will not hit you. Okay, see, he's back to fighting C-level dudes. He got another knockout. That's his speed right there. That's the whole point. That's where Wilder's comfortable. He's out of his comfort zone. He became too complacent. His ego had him freezing people out, turning fights down, blaming other people, lying, because he'd come out and admit later that what he said last time wasn't true. How? By saying shit like, Eddie Hearn won't stop calling my damn phone, man. We're always wanting to fight. Or, you know, calling they begging for the fight with it. Oh, but then you turn around and say they don't want the fight. Stuff like that. So all of these things, words are just words. The savagery is back. That's what was missing. I promise you, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to destroy this man. I'm going to annihilate all that shit he was talking. And I told y'all, he's not going to go in there and walk Zhang down. He's not going to go in there and do that. He's coming in there too light, and he's going to go in there and try to move and hope he can take Zhang in the deep waters. Zhang is a way better boxer and too smart for that. But, depending on Zhang to gas out, you have to still throw something. And that means if you're throwing something, if you're committing to something, you're putting yourself in position to get hit as well. So when I said Zhang should knock him out, I'm hating. Give a fuck what y'all call it. But I was right, wasn't I? Plain and simple. That's what I think is going to happen in September. I think we're going to get AJ versus Zhang. And as for Wilder, his career was what it was. But I think he needs to just pack it up. Because if all you're going to do is fight C-class guys and that's all you can beat, what happens? And not only that, do you deserve to be put in there with another top-level guy just to get a paycheck? When you got other guys who is busting their ass just like you, trying to get that spot. So, example, if he was to fight again, well, guess what? Jared Anderson looked like shit in his last fight. So, he actually couldn't complain about having to fight with Jared Anderson. So, if that option is turned down, his next fight won't be on the Saudi card unless it's another top guy. Why would you want to see it, though? Wilder showed you when it comes to the top guy. See, that shit Fury said about AJ is false, but it applies to Wilder. When he said, AJ showed when it comes to the top level guys, he cannot compete. Bro, Wallin took you the distance and cut you and even hurt you in that fight. Ngannou dropped you. Okay? And a lot of people, if not most, think you lost. AJ fucked both of them up. You don't want to fight AJ. You scared to fight AJ. That's what it really basically is. He does not want to really fight AJ. He didn't really want to fight Usyk. You understand what I mean? So at the end of the day, that shit applies to Wilder. So when you ask anybody, like, what did he tell Joseph Parker? They asked him, what did you know, Fury tell you about Wilder and training and preparation? He said, basically, let's just look out for the right hand. And that's pretty much all it's ever been. So, yeah, that applies to Wilder. He can't compete with the top guys. I've been saying this shit for the longest. He could not compete with the elite. He just can't. Look, that's why I said when you watch him against Fury, he's losing all these rounds, and he's managed to get knockdowns. Okay, it's the sport of boxing. It's possible to knock a motherfucker down. Yes, it's possible to knock a motherfucker out. But at the same time, once again, he falls in the category of having a puncher's chance. That's all he's ever had. Because that's all he's ever been. So when people saying, actually, there was people saying that they think Wilder can actually outbox Zhang, and I started laughing. I said, okay, well, shit can happen, but I don't see that happening. For sure. I don't see that happening. Outbox Zhang? No. No. I don't see that happening. I know y'all hate the fact that I say something, then it comes to fruition. Which I don't give a shit. Fuck y'all. But if you would take the time to pay attention, like I'm saying, you understand. I'm breaking shit down as I see it. I'm stripping it down to the core as I see it. I'm looking at, like I said, not what I want to happen, but what I believe is more logical to happen. And being a fan, it takes that away from you because you don't want to admit or accept the reality that a person is not as good as you think they are, or want to pretend that they are, or they just basically, you know, don't have a chance in hell to win. So it's no coincidence, y'all. That's just the way it goes. The man steps up in competition, he loses. When Aries said it, Aries was hating, and you got people leaving these long-ass paragraphs. I'm not reading all that shit. Fuck you, man. You say all this goofy shit just to end up going, damn, this motherfucker lost again. Yeah. Yeah. And he jumped ship, went over there with Eddie Hearn. So y'all can blame Eddie Hearn if y'all want. Y'all can blame whoever, just like y'all blame Mark Breland and all these excuses. But the reality is Wilder's not a top-level fighter. He's a guy with a right hand. It took him as far as it did, and he gets credit for beating C-level fighters. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.